Welcome to another edition of No Veteran Left Behind USA's Warrior Wisdom and Wellness. Now here's your host, Diane Young.
Hi, everyone. I am Diane Young with the Warrior Wisdom and Wellness podcast. I'm a Marine mom, a Marine wife. That's a mouthful. A lot of experience with veterans, and I'm excited to be here today with Mark from the John D. Mason Peer Outreach Support Program in Milwaukee. So thank you for being here with us today, Mark, and please introduce yourself and let our audience know who you are.
Well, thank you, Diane. It's awesome as always to see you. I'm an Army veteran, so I'm not that Marine, but I'm an Army veteran. I work with the Captain John D. Mason Peer Outreach Program. I do a lot of work in the veterans community. I'm a veteran peer support specialist. I do other work with, with some academics, I guess you could say. And I'm here to talk about our Live Today, Put It Away program, which is a very exciting new thing that we're working on here in the state of Wisconsin.
Very nice. Thank you. And for our audience, I'll just call you the John of all trades because you're everywhere in the veteran community. Most of the times when I show up to a veteran resource event, you are there. So
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much.
I acknowledge the work that you do and the compassion and passion that you have for supporting veterans. And I say all of that also to let our audience know that you are somebody that is reliable, very knowledgeable, and have a ton of resources and connections. So I'm excited to hear about the Live Today, Put It Away program and share that with our audience. So how about if you start with telling us a little bit more about what that program is all about?
So I guess we'll kind of start from the beginning, if that is that okay with you,
Definitely.
Diane? So through our work as Captain John D. Mason Peer Outreach, we came across Gene Papigal from Madison Safe Communities, and they were working on a very small project in Dane County that was, for lack of a better way, trying to figure out how they could maybe enhance some suicide prevention stuff. And what that entitled was, so she actually then kind of hooked up with an Army veteran named Chuck Lovelace, who had a gun shop in the Dane County area. And he kind of, unfortunately, had some folks that died by suicide by him selling firearms too. And it really really bugs him. Yeah. And he hooked up with Gene, and they said, how can we do something different here? So being that he was a gun shop owner, and through Gene and their collaboration, they kind of started their safe storage of firearms and suicide prevention program in Madison, which was they got a very small grant, and started putting it together. But through their work in Dane County, we kind of ran across it, and it was like, my God, this is a really cool program. So we hooked up with Gene, and we hooked up with Chuck, and we had a conversation because we decided we would really love to kind of take this to another level. And of course, they said sure, and we said awesome, and off we went with that program. So the whole idea of it is to, so I'm a veteran out there having a thing, because I like calling it a thing, because crisis is mental health, and sometimes can be very stigmatizing for us veterans if we as veterans don't like those words sometimes, I think. Even though they're in some cases very appropriate things that happen to us, unfortunately, inappropriate, just things that shouldn't be, but it is, and I'm not going to go into all that side of things. And we as veterans, unfortunately, use firearms, which is our main source of when we decide to die by suicide, that's what the method we use. We use firearms. And so I'm going to throw a stat out there. So 70% of veterans that die by suicide are firearm related, which is unfortunately that most pertinent, or I guess not. Well, we use a firearm, we die. I mean, if it was a pill or drugs or stuff, there's a chance we may not just die. But with the firearm, it's pretty much, we decided to go the most devastating way, which is hopefully what this program is designed to do, is to hopefully stop some of that. So me as a veteran, so I'm having a thing. I'm going to go into Mark's having a thing. And I decided that, boy, my firearms shouldn't be in my house. And that thing could be me having that crisis or that mental health episode. Or on the other hand, I could have grandkids coming that I trust dearly, but what I can't trust with my firearms around, because they're kids,
Right.
they're curious. And no matter how much I think they're going to listen to me, I usually end up laughing at myself because they're kids. So I want to put my guns away out of my house for 30, 60, 90, maybe 120 days, depending on whatever that thing may be. I can go to a gun shop that is part of our program, and I can ask them to store them for me, which is a really cool program. So I guess it will lead me into 45. So we got 45 gun shops right now throughout the state
Nice.
that have participate or are participating in our program. And then ironically, and I kind of mean this happily, but also ironically, we have 7 law enforcement organizations
Oh,
that are
good.
also part of our program throughout the state. We have a couple of police departments and we have a couple of sheriff's departments. That will also do that. Store your firearms temporarily for 30, 60, 90, 120 days.
Wow.
And we have a map that's online that you can go to. You can go to livetodayputitaway.org, and that will take you to where you can get to our map to explore which gun shops are closest to you, or what law enforcement organizations that are participating in our program that may be closest to you. So the whole idea of this program, now I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning, so bear with me here. It's about an option. This is just an option to kind of take, based on the situation, say my situation, to take the most lethal means or accidental prone thing in my house out of that situation until things get better. And to me, that is the most exciting thing, because it's not, no one's taking my stuff away. It's not anybody telling me I gotta do it. It's me coming to a decision, plus having a spice, like my gun shop in my local area, to go, can you hold these for me? So how that kind of works is that I will go talk to the folks at my gun shop, and then I'll say, okay, we'll figure out how long we're going to let them hold them. I guess the only kind of caveat is that we sign a contract between me as the gun owner and them as a gun shop provider or gun shop. It says, I want you to hold these for me for 60 days. So I agreed that you're going to hold them for 60 days. They, okay, I can bring my firearms in, give it to them, and 60 days later, I can come back and get them. Or 120 days later, I can come back and get them. Or 90 days later, I can come back and get them. And the really cool thing about this program, too, is that let's say it's my 60 days is up, and I'm not quite ready to come and get them yet. I can go, not quite ready yet. So kind of do another new little contract between me and the gun shop saying, okay, well, let's add 60 days on again. So it's not like, but it's a collaboration and cooperation between me as the veteran or me as the person, because this is not only for veterans, this is also, anybody can use them.
Good.
or use this. And then I can extend that. The cool thing is some gun shops do it free. Other gun shops have a very small kind of fee for that because some gun shops feel a little skin in the game as some other gun shops charge a fee, but they're not expensive. It's not a big fee. And then of course law enforcement does whatever, they just got to follow their rules. I see you had a question, Diane.
Yeah. Do you have an idea of what a fee might be? I mean, is it $5 a week?
The most expensive one I saw was $10 a month.
Oh, okay. That's
And
definitely
then I've
affordable.
seen it as low as $5 a month,
Mm,
but most don't charge a fee.
okay.
But I want to throw that out there is because
Right.
because some of them do.
Mhm.
Not a lot of them, but some of them do. So if you go, let's say we go, let's see, you have another question.
Yeah, I was wondering, well, you talk about you can extend it easily. What if after 2 weeks, you're like, I'm good now. I've gone to the VA, I've got some support, I'm doing better self-care, whatever has changed the situation. Can you go in there and say, hey, I'm good to go now, and I want my weapon back?
You can go get it. Really, they're not going to hold it.
Okay.
If I decide that I'm better, I can go get it.
Okay. Good.
The idea of the contract kind of thing, though, is just more of I'm holding this for you for 60 days. It's kind of a legal document in a sense.
Right. Yep.
But it's not that it's not like they're gonna say no, you can't have your firearm back.
Right.
But the main idea of this whole thing, though, is to go use the time for whatever the time is we're needing that for to go take care of that thing, so we don't have to worry about that thing anymore.
Nice. I like how you call it that thing.
Yeah. So I mean, and whatever that thing may be, again, it can be my own personal well-being, health-wise, or it can be I got grandkids coming over for 30 days and I just can't have firearms laying around because even though I trust them, they're nosy little kids. And they are very curious.
Or a significant other that might be having that thing.
Or yes, even a significant other thank you. But yes, even that way too, where a significant other is going through whatever thing they're going through.
Right.
But because to me, it's all about the safety.
Right.
And so that's our secure storage program, but also through that, we also push other safety measures with gun locks. We talk about other ways of maintaining a safe environment during a thing.
Nice. Now you have some gun locks available at a lot of the events that you go to, don't you?
Oh yeah, I mean yes, we bring gun locks every event we go to talk about our Live Today and Captain John D. Mason Career Outreach program and our 9-9 program. We have gun locks always on our table.
Nice.
Always willing to talk to folks about whatever they may want to talk about, but we definitely have gun locks if they need them.
Nice. That's awesome. Did you have more to talk about that program, or are you ready to tell us about how people can help support this program?
Well, yeah, let me kind of go. So we kind of a two things. So in the aspect of what the gun shops kind of do for us, we provide also suicide prevention material. We provide education about suicide prevention. So to the gun shops themselves and to the law enforcement organizations that are participating, and we provide them with the resources they need to be better at doing whatever is required within the program. So it's not only that they providing us a service, we in turn provide services to them, so they're just better at what they do. So when it comes to our secure storage program, and yeah, and then why do I guess can I say kind of why do I think this is a really cool thing? Because that's
Yes,
how
indeed.
it's as Diane can attest, that's kind of how I talk anyway, all the time. It's just So the folks that are participating within our program, we try to send out a kind of a monthly, or actually it's a bi-monthly survey. Just to ask them how they're doing, how's it working, how's it what's their thoughts of improving things. If they have a thing they need to discuss, to let us know what that is so we can get back to them to talk about it. And then we ask them how many people have possibly used the service. So for the surveys that we have received back, 48 individuals have utilized this service since the last group of surveys went out. Which is, to me, is a very awesome thing, because that to me suggests that there was 48 lives we just saved.
Yeah.
And prove it, don't know,
Right.
but based on the concept of what we're trying to do, that is, in my mind, 48 lives that could have went a totally different direction and it didn't, which is awesome.
Right.
So, which is ideally what this program is all about. It is about taking G. Papaglione and Chuck Lovelace's initial ideas and pushing them and taking them to the state, because as we all know, suicide is a prevalent problem in our community. And for veterans, it's even in our state is even higher prevalent problem. I mean, we're above above the national average in this state on a lot of different things, but the veterans population is even higher. And again, when we decide in most cases to choose to go that route, and I hate to call it that, but go that route, we choose firearms, which I think part of the reason that is because we're the most familiar with them. We're trained to use them.
Right.
We think we're pretty safe with them, and we all are pretty safe with them. But if that comes down to that moment where we may have to decide something, let's use the thing we're most proficient at.
Yeah.
And the idea is getting what we're most proficient at least temporarily out of the house, so we don't have to go down that route. And for me, that's why I do the work I do, because I'd like to put myself out of a job. And one day, if we would ever fix this problem, I had to have to go do something else. And in all reality, I would be a happier person for it.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, thank you, Mark. That's a remarkable example of how one person turned some trauma into a solution and then gained some traction when it got your attention and you were able to collaborate and make this more of a statewide thing. So I really appreciate your time today and all the work that you're doing. And I invite all of our audience to go to your website, which is livetodayputitaway.org, right?
Yep.
Awesome. And I saw that all the information is on there. And they'll find your contact information on there also, right?
But you can reach me at mflower@mcw.edu, or you can holler at me at 414-949-1743. Just don't holler too badly.
Nicely. All right. Well, thanks so much, Mark. I appreciate you. And to all of our audience, please take care of yourselves and each other. And if you're having a thing, please take the time to reach out for some support. And if firearms are available, then give yourself some time to think and recover from that thing, because your life matters too.
Yes, it does. Your life matters. Your life matters.
Yeah, choose life.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane, for letting me have this few moments to kind of chat about our Live Today, Put It Away program. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much. You all be well until next time.